We live in a world of constant striving. We chase success, material possessions, and the approval of others, believing that achieving these goals will finally make us happy. But why does it feel like no matter how much we accomplish, we're still not satisfied? Why does happiness seem just out of reach, always waiting in some future moment, some next achievement? This question has plagued humanity for centuries, and it's one that the ancient philosophy of Stoicism aims to answer. In a world driven by chaos, anxiety, and the endless hunger for more, Stoicism offers a counterintuitive but profoundly powerful solution: the art of not caring about the things we cannot control. But don't mistake this for apathy. Stoicism isn't about giving up, it's about finding a deeper sense of control, calm, and resilience by focusing on what truly matters. And it's more relevant today than ever. In this video, we'll explore how Stoicism can help us break free from the endless cycle of chasing external happiness and find lasting peace within ourselves. From the moment we are born, we are thrust into a world of vulnerability and confusion. We quickly learn that the world is unpredictable, and in response, we try to exert control. We chase success, material possessions, and power, hoping that by acquiring more, we can finally feel safe and secure. But this pursuit often leads us down a path of constant dissatisfaction. I remember a time in my own life when I believed that landing a high-paying job and owning certain material goods would bring me happiness. I worked tirelessly, sacrificing personal relationships and my mental well-being, all in the name of achieving more. But when I finally reached those goals, the happiness I expected didn't arrive. Instead, I felt more anxious, more stressed, and more empty than ever before. This experience is all too common in today's world. We live in a culture that tells us our worth is determined by what we achieve, what we own, and how we are perceived by others. It creates an endless cycle of comparison and striving, one that Stoicism addresses head-on. The ancient Stoics believed that true happiness comes not from external success, but from mastering our internal world. Stoicism, a philosophy that originated in ancient Greece and was later popularized in Rome, has stood the test of time because of its enduring wisdom. It teaches that while we cannot control external events, we have complete control over our own reactions. This idea resonates deeply in today's world of chaos and constant change. Prominent figures throughout history have turned to Stoicism in times of great difficulty. Nelson Mandela, for instance, found solace in Stoic teachings during his imprisonment, using its principles to maintain his inner peace despite the harsh conditions around him. In more recent times, authors like Tim Ferriss, Robert Greene, and Ryan Holiday have drawn from Stoicism to offer advice on how to navigate modern life's challenges. For me, Stoicism became a guiding light when I was faced with a period of uncertainty and loss. Rather than trying to control everything around me, I learned to focus on controlling my own thoughts and reactions. This shift in perspective gave me a sense of peace that external achievements never could. But Stoicism's relevance extends far beyond personal anecdotes. In today's world, where social media and cultural pressures encourage us to constantly compare ourselves to others, Stoicism offers a liberating alternative. It teaches us to detach from the opinions of others and focus on living a life true to our own values. At the core of Stoicism is the distinction between what we can and cannot control. The Stoics believe that external events, what happens to us, how others treat us, the outcomes of our efforts, are beyond our control. The only thing we can control is how we respond to these events. This idea is deceptively simple, but incredibly powerful. When we stop trying to control the uncontrollable and instead focus on our own thoughts, emotions, and actions, we free ourselves from the constant anxiety that comes from feeling powerless. I learned this lesson the hard way. In my early career, I was obsessed with achieving external success. I believed that if I worked hard enough and proved myself to others, I could control how people perceived me and ensure my success. But when things didn't go as planned, I was devastated. It wasn't until I started practicing Stoicism that I realized I was wasting energy on things outside of my control. By shifting my focus inward on how I reacted to setbacks, how I maintained my values, and how I found meaning in my efforts, I became more resilient, more focused, and ultimately, more content. One of the most practical applications of Stoicism is the idea of voluntary discomfort. Stoics believe that by occasionally depriving ourselves of the comforts we take for granted, we can build inner strength and resilience. Seneca, one of the most well-known Stoic philosophers, often practiced this by living without luxuries for periods of time, reminding himself that these comforts were not essential to his happiness. He wrote, "Until we have begun to go without them, we fail to realize how unnecessary many things are." In my own life, I've tried to adopt this practice by intentionally going without certain luxuries. Whether it's fasting, taking cold showers, or even spending time without my phone, these small acts of discomfort remind me that I don't need external comforts to feel secure or happy. And when challenges inevitably arise in life, I feel more prepared to handle them because I've built up my resilience. The Stoics believe that the key to a meaningful life is to live according to virtue. This means acting in alignment with our values, regardless of the external outcomes. In a world that constantly pushes us to achieve more and more, Stoicism reminds us that true happiness comes not from what we own or accomplish, but from how we live our lives each day. One of my favorite lessons from Stoicism comes from the philosopher Epictetus, who said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." This idea has been a guiding principle for me in moments of stress and uncertainty. When life feels overwhelming, I remind myself that I can't control everything that happens, but I can control how I react. This shift in mindset has brought me a sense of peace and clarity that I never found in external achievements. As we navigate the chaos of modern life, Stoicism offers a roadmap for finding peace within ourselves. By focusing on what we can control, practicing voluntary discomfort, and living with purpose, we can cultivate a sense of calm and resilience that allows us to thrive, no matter what life throws our way. In today's world, we are bombarded with messages telling us that we need to achieve, buy, and consume in order to be happy. But Stoicism offers a different path. It teaches us that happiness is not something we can find outside of ourselves. It's something we cultivate within. By practicing Stoicism, we learn the art of not caring, not about the things that don't matter, but about the things we can't control. This doesn't mean we stop striving for success or working towards our goals. It means we detach our sense of self-worth and happiness from external outcomes, focusing instead on living a life true to our values. In the end, Stoicism gives us the tools to navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. It teaches us that no matter what happens, we always have control over how we respond. And in that response, we find our true strength, our true happiness, and our true peace.